Josh, how would you describe your life before you came to Liberty?
Filled with a lot of drugs and alcohol, a lot of partying. I didn't really care for other people. I was only out for my own intentions, and very lonely.
Every day we hear more disturbing news about the opioid crisis. Chances are that you know people who have been affected by this. At Liberty Ministries, we work to break the chains of addiction and criminal thinking.
My life was in shambles. I just couldn't stay out of prison. In and out of prison, heroin addiction was the cause of it. I just tried so many different things on my own and could never get a stable foundation.
Before I came to Liberty, I was spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally deteriorated, disrupted, and I was homeless in Philly, living on the streets, addicted to heroin.
My life was a mess before I came to Liberty, completely unmanageable. I fell into drugs and alcohol at a very young age. I've had divorces, foreclosures, lost businesses, in and out of jail. So it was definitely completely unmanageable.
What are some of the most important things you've learned through Liberty?
That life can be different. That the normalcies that I thought once were in life didn't have to be. I learned that it was normal to have a family. It was normal to work a job more than a few months. It was normal to build relationships.
Here at Liberty Ministries, our programs are focusing on character change and spiritual formation by providing the means to develop a mature Christian worldview, structure, accountability, and programs that address core beliefs and attitudes that have resulted in problematic behavior in the past.
As the Director of Prison Programs and Volunteers, I coordinate 184 volunteers at all church services, Bible studies, and one-on-one for the men and women, along with the 12-step program, Celebrate Recovery.
The biggest thing I've learned at Liberty is how to try to be like Jesus. And through Bible studies and the 33 series, I've learned that there's 4 ways to try to be like Jesus, which is reject passivity, lead courageously, invest eternally, and accept responsibility. And also, when you're struggling or have difficulties, to identify your situation, admit to somebody what your problem is, and to replace that with something of God. And what I've chosen is to replace things with love, marriage, and family. And I find that's working for me pretty good.
Talk a little bit about how important it's been to be able to remain sober.
The importance of that couldn't be overstated. It's essential. And through this year and a couple months of being here, especially coming off a drug like heroin, really allowed a good stable amount of time to have my mind on the process of, like the Bible talks about, complete renewal. Even just some of the little patterns and bad behaviors I learned in addiction, once the drugs are gone, those patterns of behavior were still there. And through Liberty, they were able to get addressed, and I was able to focus on them. And besides just having a behavior modification of just doing something different in replace of drugs, my patterns of thinking began to change through Christ.
Why will this second chance be different than the others?
Because before I grew up through church, and I just never had an understanding of Christ and who Christ really was and what Christianity was all about, or my purpose in life. And now that I've come to understand things a little bit more, it's given me a purpose. Definitely given me a purpose in life, whereas before my life really didn't have a purpose or a meaning.
I was just saying before that I tried everything and nothing seemed to work, and the spirituality helps with everything else, with physical and mental. It's just a support system. I've always had the wrong type of people around me. I thought that I could always go back to at least one person that I used to use drugs with and thought that it would be okay, that I'd be fine. And I completely created all new. It's the first time in my life, and it's only by God.
What we do is we help men and women become all that God created them to be. Mass incarceration and drug addiction affect everyone in the community, and we all know people who have paid the ultimate price. Our work gives men and women a real chance to get their life on track, but we can't do it alone. We need people just like you who want to stand with us in making a difference. Please consider supporting this important work with a financial gift. You can also help us through your patronage at Liberty Ministries thrift stores. Your purchases and donations make a huge difference.